Well, more teens are asking about rhinoplasty, but is a teen nose job really too early? In this segment, sponsored by Gotham Plastic Surgery, Dr. Philip J. Miller breaks down the questions every parent should be asking before helping their teen make that decision. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
All right, so rhinoplasty, a nose job, essentially.
Yes.
You're finding that a lot of teenagers are asking for this.
Which has been the case for a long time. I mean, that's when they're really sort of focusing on their self-image, when they're looking at themselves in the mirror and wondering whether or not they fit in, comparing themselves to, God, social media is the worst. That's a whole nother subject.
Don't even talk about AI on social media.
On top of AI, exactly. And so they're really questioning whether or not, and they know that it is a solution. So it has been popular and it continues to be popular.
I mean, as someone who definitely went through my ugly duckling phase, some would say this is a rite of passage as a teen, like that sort of insecurity, and then you come out of that and you start to feel more confident in yourself. But you're saying that this is something that parents need to weigh the pros and the cons with their kids. And
you know, you put it wonderfully. It's a phase. I mean, there are a lot of phases that children go through, but then there are certain phases that kind of, it gets stuck, right? I mean, they may be passionate about golf, but they never lose that passion and they really want to follow golf, or they love a sport and then after a season or two they stop. And that if that happens when it comes to the noses, by all means, you know, don't follow it up with a consultation because they bring it up on a Saturday and you book it on a Wednesday. I mean, have a discussion. Why do they want to do it? What makes them interested in having it done? What would they want to achieve by accomplishing this? And have a discussion, if anything, just to delay it to see whether or not it is a phase or if it persists over time. Now, you really don't want to do this until the individual is around, you know, 15 or so for a female, maybe 16 or 17 at minimum. So if they bring it up earlier, well, you can't do anything anyway, with one exception, and that is patients. And it's rare, but I have seen them. I've operated on individuals as young as, I think, 12, because they also had such severe problems breathing.
Like a deviated septum or something?
Horrible deviated septum, basically completely occluding one side, which means blocking off one side, so that they had to go in to have the surgery anyway, and while we're there, let's go ahead and do a little work, with the understanding that if you're doing it that early, there's a possibility revision may need to be done down the road.
What does that process look like when, you know, your teen's been talking about this for months or years, and you're like, you know what? Let's go have a consultation. What does that consultation look like when you're dealing with someone who is in that kind of precious stage of life where they're probably self-conscious about everything?
Right. You know, and first of all, let's be very clear. Like everything as parents, okay, there is no wrong and there is no right. Okay, you're not wrong for bringing them there, and you're not necessarily right for bringing them. It's so hard because the next question is, you know, should a parent support a child who's interested in having changes done to their face? And again, you almost want to take the perspective of always saying, look, if you want it done, that's fine, but I think you look beautiful the way you are. That's wonderful perspective. By the same token, if you want to be supportive of your child, are you kind of encouraging and So it's kind of you can't win as a parent.
Parents always feel like they have to toe that line. You know, I feel that, and my kids are not even anywhere near these phases that we're talking about. But if you do want to make that consultation, how would you go about doing that with your practice?
Yeah, no, you would give a call to the practice. In my case, if I can just sort of say, it's drphilnola.com, and then I would patient and a parent comes in, and I listen to both. Now and I don't think it happens here at all, but I'll occasionally get a consultation like that where the parent does all the talking. And I'm very polite, but I say, with all due respect, you're not the patient. I want to hear it from the patient, because if the parent's doing all the talking, who's really wanting this done, the parent or the patient? That rarely happens. So,
but important as a physician to make sure that you're hearing it from the actual patient. Doctor, thank you so much for those tips. If that's something your child is considering, you now know that you're not doing right or wrong. Sometimes it's just complicated.
That's right, exactly.